What's happening, everybody? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today is Tuesday, January 30th. I hope you're doing well. And in this video, we're going to be discussing Cannara Biotech's recent record-breaking Q1 2024 earnings that came out today. And this is a hidden gem of a company, in my opinion, and we're going to take a look at the technicals. We'll bring up the chart and what to expect in terms of price action in the days, weeks, months ahead. But the stock has been recovering lately, and I think this has a lot to do with this great earnings report that came out today as well. And like I said, it's definitely one that is flying under the radar from a lot of people in the space, right? There's a lot of analysts that aren't even covering it. There wasn't even any analyst estimates. So that just goes to show you how early we are and the amount of growth that this company has and that lies ahead. But make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. Also, you can give us a follow over on X, which I'm going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. The handle for that is @GroupPow, and this is formerly Twitter. And full disclosure, I do own Cannara Biotech stock. It's one of my top picks. If you haven't seen my whole MJ portfolio video with a percentage breakdown, you can check that out. And I've also done interviews with CFO Nicholas Sosiak as well in the past, if you want to check those out. But as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment and informational purposes only. Never, ever, ever buy anything or sell anything based on anything that I write or anything that I say. So Cannara Biotech announces record-breaking Q1 2024 results and continued robust growth and market expansion. So they did see tons of growth here, and from last quarter, we had net revenues of $18.3 million, and for the quarter of Q1 2024 came in at $19.5 million. So we did see sequential growth of around 6.55%. And we'll go through the numbers here. All results and numbers are in Canadian dollars unless otherwise stated as well. And this is for the period, 3-month period ending November 30th, 2023. So they do have some comments there from Zohar Krivorot, which is the CEO and president of Cannara Biotech. The first quarter of 2024 has been another significant period for Cannara, while record-breaking net revenues of $19.5 million, an 89% increase from the comparative quarter in 2023, and an incredible net income surge. And they just talk about they're on the right path for 2024. Nicholas Sosiak, CFO, had some comments. Our first quarter results are continued solid proof of Cannara's strong financial health and strategic approach to business operations. We've seen an impressive sales increase and a steady rise in adjusted EBITDA, net income, and cash flow from operations, which sets a strong base for the rest of the year. Moving into 2024, our plan is to keep growing our market share, introduce our brands to new regions in Canada, because we know they still have to penetrate the rest of the Canadian market. They still have nationwide distribution to conquer, so Atlantic Canada, you can think of those regions as well. So lots of growth just here in Canada in their own backyard, and then there's tons of growth internationally and looking at the US as well, with lots of positive reform there. And they're also looking to launch products that meet customers' needs. We are focused on keeping our finances strong while we grow and make our operations even more cost effective. As we know, Cannara is one of those producers here in Canada that is taking the crawl, walk, run approach, which is why I think they're kind of a hidden gem and flying under the radar from a lot of different analysts. There wasn't even any analyst estimates this quarter. So it just goes to show you how early we are. The first quarter financial results are aligned with our financial plan and positions Cannara for what we expect to be our most successful year in terms of performance and financial achievements, concluded Mr. Sosiak. And I'll try to have Nicholas back on the channel at some point over the next few months as well. It's been a busy time in my life. As I mentioned, my partner and I gave birth to our new daughter, and we went through that and welcomed her into the world. It was 1 week ago, so very grateful for her, and just amazing experience, absolutely incredible. I love her to pieces already. So life has been hectic for me, but I'll try to get him back on the channel at some point, and maybe even Zohar can come on the next interview. So for fiscal first quarter financial highlights, already mentioned most of these, so we'll go through a little bit quicker here. Q1 2024 operating income increased to $3.4 million, a 210% increase compared to $1.1 million of operating income generated in Q1 2023. They delivered the company's 11th straight quarter of positive adjusted EBITDA of $5.2 million, a 206% increase compared to $1.7 million of positive adjusted EBITDA generated in Q1 of last year. And then company generated earnings per share of positive 0.02 in Q1 2024. So they continue to generate positive EPS, earnings per share. And then free cash flow for Q4 2023 increased to $4.9 million, a 145% increase compared to free cash flow of $2 million recorded in the prior year, Q1 of 2023. The company has $30.5 million in working capital as of November 30th, 2023. And then some operational highlights for the quarter. During the quarter, consistently produced from a total of 9 growing zones out of the Valleyfield facility. In January 2024, Cannara activated its 10th growing zone, reaching over 275,000 square feet of active production canopy and its Valleyfield and Farnham facility, bringing the company's total production capacity to 33,500 kgs of MJ per year. 1,340,000 units were sold during Q1 2024 across 3 flagship brands, a 99% increase compared to 675,000 units sold in Q1 2023, and an 11% increase compared to 1,202,000 units that were sold in the previous quarter. So we'll go through this a little bit quicker here. In Quebec, the company ranked in market share as the province's 4th largest licensed producer, holding approximately 8.7% of the market during Q1 2024. In Ontario, Cannara holds rank of 9th top licensed producer by market share, with a 3.15% share of Canada's largest MJ market. In Alberta, the company dramatically increased its market share in the province by 98.3% in the quarter, from 1.2% share in Q4 2023 to 2.3% in this quarter, Q1 2024. In BC, the company's market share reached 0.84%, and increased its total national product portfolio of MJ products by 60% from 97 SKUs in Q4 2023 to 155 SKUs at the end of Q1 2024, with product innovation in new categories such as infused pre-rolls, milled flour, and budget-friendly vapes. Introduced 2 new tribal genetics, Jigglers and Drip Station. I recently tried the Triple Burger. It's super good as well, but very impressed with all of their genetics, really. Just continues to be, the quality over quantity, and at great prices as well, right? So it's a mix of both. You get the best of both worlds, essentially. But very impressed with all of their genetics. Successfully completed its first international export sale of MJ product to Israel, validating Cannara's ability to export MJ as an opportunistic and ancillary revenue stream. So great to see. Like I said, tons of expansion opportunities internationally, and even with the U.S. seeing tons of reform potential there as well over the next year or two. The amount of opportunities are endless, really. Sky's the limit. They also had their AGM, so their annual general meeting, and that was on January 25th, 2024. Shareholders, they approved all of the motions that were set forward. So they voted in favor of all matters brought before the meeting. And you can see here the directors, nominees, and then stock option plans. And then in terms of outstanding shares, as of the date of this report, the company had 90,018,592 common shares. And then we'll jump into the chart here. But like I said, as of last quarter, we had 18.3 million, and then came in at 19.5 million this quarter. So that represents a sequential growth of about 6.55%. So like I said, continuing to see growth in the stock. But like I said, it's one of those names that just flies under the radar, right? It's a hidden gem in my opinion. And the reason why, it's still not even on the TSX, right? It's on the Venture Exchange. It's not listed on any US major exchanges as well. And it's still a very much unknown company, right? And until they get a little bit more broader exposure, I expect them to continue to lag a little bit in terms of Canadian MJ and MJ at large, right? Once the major MSOs and the major tier 1 MSOs and LPs start to, kind of top out, I think we're going to see Cannara. And then over the next couple of years, right, when Cannara really starts to ramp up their growing zones and their production, they continue to add new SKUs and new brands and new products and innovation. It's just going to continue to get the word out of Cannara, right? So we're looking at another year or two before we really start to gain massive media attention, in my opinion. But we've had a nice move on the stock over the last week or so. If we take a look at the low there from 77 cents to the high, we were up about almost 30%. So we went from 77 cents all the way up to 99 cents and then consolidated for a daily higher low. And we do have the potential for a daily trend change here now. So if we hold this higher low here at 85 cents, that's our new key support, and then come back up and test resistance there at 99 cents or $1 psychological. If we get over $1, then it'll be a daily uptrend confirmed. If we zoom out to the weekly, we have the potential now for a potential weekly uptrend as well, and a weekly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. So if we come down and form a higher low on the weekly, get our higher low and our higher high, we would be back in a weekly uptrend. But we still have a lot of work to do, at least a few weeks before we see that come into play. But in terms of the monthly time frame, we're at our low, high, we're scouting a higher low, and then we need our higher high. So we're very weak comparatively to the rest of, some of our names, like specifically the U.S. names. Some of the U.S. names are very, very strong. You take a look at CureLeaf, AYR, GTII, TrueLeaf, all confirming monthly uptrends, daily, weekly, monthly uptrends, and LOVE and Cannara Biotech still yet to even confirm a daily uptrend. So we still need daily, weekly, and monthly uptrends. So it's definitely lagging. It's got a lot of work to do, at least a few months worth of work to do, in my opinion. And then obviously news can change that, right? But you got to think, if we come out with the DEA headline, it's going to be a bit of a throw the dart scenario where you just chuck a dart and you win, right? But at the end of the day, it's probably going to be the names that are listed on U.S. major exchanges that are going to see the most growth or the most gains in a very relatively short period of time, right? Think of the Tilrays and the SNDLs and the Canopies and the High Tides of the world. They're all listed on the NASDAQ, right? So they're going to have that massive influx of capital, right? So if we get a DEA headline saying that they approve Schedule 3 recommendation from HHS, well, everything's going to skyrocket, and in my opinion, at that point, we're going to see the LPs, like your Canopies, your Tilrays, your SNDLs, really start to shoot up, maybe even 30-50+% in one day, right? But LOVE will probably lag, and then it will probably play catch up once they start to consolidate, right? So this is not surprising. This is very typical for a name that flies under the radar, that it isn't even listed on Canadian major exchanges, right? So if it's not listed on the Canadian major exchanges, not listed on the US major exchanges, then it's probably not going to be the leader in the space. It's probably not going to run first when we're trying to conclude this brutal bear market and start a new bull market, right? So just need to be patient is basically what I'm trying to get at here, right? My main point. But we're looking really good here on the weekly time frame as well. We're seeing a bull cross of the MACD on the weekly. The stochastic was already bullish, and we're seeing a weekly candle close potentially for the second week in a row here over the 10-week moving average. So this is looking really, really good in terms of the weekly moving averages. We had the 100 weekly there at 99 cents as well, so that was a nice area to target for a potential top. But if we can get over that $1 psychological, like I said, confirm that daily uptrend, then we've got some runway until the 200 weekly moving average, which is at 113. And then after that, it's all systems go. And we're trying to get above all of our daily moving averages here as well. The highest daily moving average is the 200 daily there at 92 cents. So again, if we can get over $1, we're likely heading up to that 113 area in a hurry. And then if we take a look at the monthly time frame here, if we get over 113, we have a level there at 115, but then a lack until 130. So we could easily see us up around 115, 130 if we do break above that $1 mark, like I said, and confirm that daily uptrend. And then from there, we'll want to confirm a weekly uptrend and then a monthly uptrend, and look for a weekly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross into that uptrend on the monthly time frame confirming. But it's more than likely going to be, like I said, at least a few months. And like I said, if we get that catalyst of the DEA rescheduling, then we're more than likely going to see the tier 1 LPs and the well-known LPs skyrocket, right? If we get the DEA headline, let's say it came out today, we could easily see Canadian MJ, like your Tilrays, your Canopies, your SNDL shoot up 30-40% instantly, right? So you have to just keep that in mind if you're investing in Cannara, like myself. You just have to be very, very patient, right? This is a company that is still relatively low, right? Their market cap isn't too bad, but in terms of revenue, I mean, they're only generating $19.5 million for the quarter, right? Whereas, you get a name like High Tide with an annual run rate of $500 million. You got, you name like Tilray bringing in almost $200 million, right? So once they start to, like I said, just increase that production capacity, once they continue to open more grow zones, it's only going to turn that much more head, right? There's going to be tons of people looking at the company eventually, but right now there's just not a whole lot of eyes on it, right? And we still have to penetrate the rest of Canada, and then, like I said, they exported to Israel. There's going to be a ton of other international markets as well, and like I said, the potential for the U.S. markets is huge as well. So we're so early, it's not even funny, but like I said, this is one of those names in my portfolio that I'm very bullish on, but you have to exercise caution, and patience is the utmost importance, right? Because I see people all the time on the internet, on social media saying, is this thing ever going to move? And people are jumping ship right when it's it's hard to watch other names in the space really start to take off and see monthly uptrends and weekly uptrends and 100 plus gains or 200 plus % off the lows, and then you're stuck in a name like Cannara where it's been dropping to lower lows and there's just no end in sight, right? And you get that investor fatigue. So that's why I highly encourage you to use your best judgment and try to be patient, and then also diversify, right? You don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. That's why I own, I think I own close to 20 different MJ stocks now, a mix of producers in the US, Canada, retailers, ETFs, and then that way it helps, when the sector starts to run or we get, massive, price appreciation in some other names, you don't feel that FOMO, right? Helps kind of calm your emotions. So just be patient is the name of the game right now with Cannara, but obviously they're showing tons of growth potential and they continue to make great strides and show that they're one of the bigger players in the space and will only continue to get bigger in my opinion. But going in it there, let me know your thoughts and opinions on this report. It's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.